Today I'm going to show you how to hook up your MacBook with Qlab to the Ion board. So the first thing that you need to do is connect your MacBook via Ethernet to the same network as the Ion board. The Ion board should already be plugged into the school network via Ethernet port into a switch in the wall. Then you need to plug your MacBook into that same switch via Ethernet port. The port will have 4 or 5 open slots. Leave the first one, port 1, open for localhost. Plug the Ion board into port 2, and then plug your MacBook into port 3. This will establish that network connection. Then we're going to go to Qlab and we're going to go to New Workspace. I'm going to go down to the gear here, and I'm going to go to Network. The patch 1 is for localhost access. We're not going to touch anything with that. Patch 2 is where we're going to establish the link between the MacBook and the Ion board. So I'm going to name it Ion board, and I'm going to give it the IP address of the Ion board. So if you go into setting after you boot up the Ion board before you click on a show or anything like that, you can find the IP address in there, which should be 10.101.100.101. Now this could change if you go to a different building or somewhere else. If you're plugging in at, let's say, a different show house or a different theater, if it's not ACMA, it might have a different IP address. Then you need to change what this is the port number on the Ion board for the show that you're trying to fire a cue for. So if you go into browse and you go to show settings, and I believe it's show control, but you'll find a bunch of options, and you're looking for the OSCRX port number. So the dance recital OSCRX port number is 8001, so that's the one we're going to use for this example. It's on the very bottom row in the middle is what you're looking for, but that has to match here. And then you're just going to hit done. And then we're going to go back to this screen, and this is the network. So this is the command that I need to tell Ion or the Qlab to fire for the Ion board. So then I'm going to go to settings and change my destination from localhost to Ion. And this is the command that I need to put in order to fire a cue from Qlab to the Ion board to tell it to work. So the first number is your cue list. So all the shows are built on the Q1 list, as I could tell. And then the second number is the actual cue that you want to fire. So if you wanted to fire a red light, let's say it's on Q7, you would change that second number to a 7. So then this would say, hey, look at cue list 1, go to Q7, and then you're going to fire that. And then we're just going to hit send, and it's going to put it up in here, and this is the order as it'll fire per the show. Now, as of right now, we can't fire a cue. It won't do anything because we need to make sure that first we have the Wi-Fi turned off. So if you go into System Preferences and Network, you want to turn off your Wi-Fi. And then you should be plugged in via USB. So this little red dot will be green. And then we need to change some settings over here. So if it's not configured to manual, you want to switch it to manual. And then we need to match our IP address very similar to what that is of the Ion board. So the first 3 numbers have to match the first 3 numbers on the Ion board. So right now our first 3 numbers are 10.101.100. So that would need to match. And then your fourth number needs to be 1 number higher or lower than what the last digit is on the Ion board. So if you look at it this way, this is telling us, hey, you're in the state of Oregon, you're in Beaverton, we're on Center Street, and this is my house, and then the Ion board is the next house over. And then the subnet mask has to be the same, and it should always be 255.255.255.0. I doubt it'll ever change, but if it does, it is in the same spot that you would look up the IP address. And then you would just hit apply. And then this will tell now the Qlab that we're on the same network with the Ion board, and you'll be able to fire cues.